Okay, so we also have ethics. Ethics is what is expected, okay, of a person in a society. The standard that the society is given is is giving him or her. Okay? Well, moral, okay? So it is your personal point of view, your personal take about a thing, okay? So for example, for me, abortion is immoral because that's killing. Okay? So how do we tell good from evil or right from wrong? Okay? So that question can only be answered by your ethic principle. Okay? Ethics principle. And then also, because today in today's world, what's happening is that what is right is wrong and what is wrong is right. So how will you be able to get out from this dilemma? Okay, so are you going to follow the standards set by the society, or what is expected of you to be ethical in the society, or you're going to follow your own personal belief, which is sometimes, of course, relatively connected to your to ethics. Okay, so ethics, as I said, explores the nature of moral virtue in you. Alam mo naman yun, di ba? Because you know that. You would always choose what is good for the common people. Okay? What is good not only for yourself, but for all. Because you believe, no, you believe that whatever happens to you will also happen to your fellow human being. And also, you also believe of the theory of shared destiny, diba? Okay, so next we have, so I hope that you know this person. Okay, he is one of the greatest philosophers in the world. Okay, that's Socrates. He said that to be happy is to live a virtuous life, and an unexamined life is not worth living. Therefore, you must always do self introspection. You must always s- face the mirror, okay, and see for yourself what happened to yourself. Okay, see for yourself what happened to yourself. Self introspection. See, always go beyond the literal sense of yourself. And then, according to William Edward Burger Dubois, an African American who wanted equal rights for the blacks, no, so he followed the the theory or the philosophy of Hegels also, 'di ba? That it is immoral na yung mga black, they are being discriminated. Okay? So before judging others, you must first do self-introspection. Okay? So an examined life is not worth living. Kasi alam mo yan sa sarili mo. If you know yourself too well, you are fine living in this world. But if you don't know yourself too well, you might be a bit messed up. Okay? Next is branches of philosophy is epistemology. Okay? Epistemology deals with nature, sources, limitations, and validity of knowledge. So epistemology explains how we know what we claim to know. Okay? Paano ba natin nalalaman itong mga kiniklaim natin na alam natin? And then, second, how we can find out what we wish to know. Paano natin malalaman itong mga bagay na gusto nating malaman, okay? And then you also have, how can we differentiate truth from falsehood? So that's the three challenges, or the branch of epistemology wants us to go deeper. Next is Okay, epistemology also addresses various problems like the reliability, the extent and kinds of knowledge, truth, language, and science and scientific knowledge. So, how can we acquire reliable knowledge? Of course, this is done through the various researches that those in the academe do, okay? Those in social science fields. So one of the things that are being used, no, I mean one of the things that is being used in epistemology, no, two reasons, okay, two kinds of reasonings. Okay, so first you have the inductive and the deductive method. Inductive method means you are going to go over with specific first before going to the general aspect. While deductive, uh, you start with the general concepts and then zeroing in on the specific. For example, so if you want to study if you want to, present to the world the average poor people living in the slum area here in the Philippines. So first, if you are going to do a deductive kind of reasoning, so first you're going to discuss first the general concepts. Okay, for example, you are going to call from the theories or previous studies done in international conferences, and then zeroing in on the numbers, okay, specific examples. For example, in Tondo, how many poor people living in a slum area, so mga ganon. So while in inductive, it is different, okay? Baliktad siya. So you start first with numbers, examples, going down to the general concepts, okay? So ganun siya. That's how you conclude things. Now you will have logic. Logic, it comes from the Greek word logike, coined by Zeno the Stoic, which means a treatise on matters pertaining to the human thought. Logic. Okay, so logic is a kind of reasoning, okay, so that it involves major, minor premise, and then the conclusion. Okay? So, for example, uh, we're going to study this in the subsequent weeks, okay? So, I'm just giving example, kahit one. Uh, for major premise, let's say, all humans are mortals. Minor premise, Socrates is a man. Conclusion, ergo, Socrates is mortal. Okay, so that's a good way of thinking, okay? So, may mga may mga error in syllogism which we are going to discuss in the next weeks. Okay? So, yan ang example. And then you have aesthetics. Aesthetics always pertains to beauty. Okay? Something sublime, not something comical. Okay, not something trashy. Aesthetics always means beauty because beauty vitalizes our knowledge. Okay? Vitalizes our knowledge. And then it helps us to live more deeply and richly because we see things beyond its literal sense. Okay? We are not only doing a thing, but we are crafting, we are creating. Okay, when you see beauty and you don't want any ugliness, you want perfection. Of course, we cannot omit the fact that there is ugliness in the world. So that's why we keep on making it beautiful, no? We keep on striving hard to make things amplified and